What's up there, people? I'm Chef Michael Reyes and you're watching The Hungry Winehouse. Today's episode, turkey gravy. So this is the deal with gravy. It takes a little work. Not a lot, not like a relationship, but it takes a little work. So I get a lot of questions about gravy and the thickness and it's lumpy and this, that, and the other. It's just a matter of technique. So what I want to go over is how to make the stock for it and how to put the whole roux thing together and make it nice thick gravy. There's two ways to go. Stock pot, everything goes in 3 or 4 hours, great stock. The second way, the way I prefer, is the pressure cooker. The pressure cooker, like in previous episodes, it's really fast, does the same thing. And in this situation, come Thanksgiving time, you have a lot of stuff on your stovetop anyway. Why not get this done early? So as far as flavors go, I have carrots, celery, and onion, simple mirepoix. I have a little bit of dried sage, and I have some, what the hell is this called? Bay leaf. Has a nice little flavor to it, especially when you cook it for a long period of time. At the end, speaking of time, I have a little bit of thyme. So in the pressure cooker, I have some turkey stock. You all get a turkey neck and some giblets and whatnots in your turkey bag. This is the neck and this is the liver. Now, if I was in the South, I'd break down the kidney and the whole inner thing and the gizzard, and that's fine. But I'm in California, I'm just gonna use the liver. Now, the reason why this takes so long is the turkey neck has to get tender. We're talking fall off the bone tender. And that'll take 3 or 4 hours. And then you'll get little knuckles all the way through and you gotta pull that stuff apart. We're looking for the meat, and then we'll, chop it up later. We also have some cream. This has, nice mouthfeel, smoothness to it. And then we have our butter and flour to make our roux later. So like I said, it all goes into the pressure cooker. So here we go. I'm gonna add my mirepoix. It all goes in. I'm gonna add this turkey neck. I have my bay leaf and a little bit, when I say a little bit, I mean half a teaspoon of the sage. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this up. You have the arrows to line you up. Here's the arrows. Fits nicely on top. I check to make sure that this is on. We close it up, and that's that. Now, crank this up to as high as it goes. Once you start hearing the whistling, and this thing will start to stir, don't panic, just lower the temperature. This will always move, so don't freak out when you hear a little bit of a whistle. That's what you're looking for. So, this goes in for about 40 to an hour. All right, same procedure as last time. We've had this on for about 45 minutes. I cooled it inside the sink with a little bit of cold water to open it up. This little lock on top goes down and you don't hear any sound, so we're fine. Let's open this up. Now what I want to show you is what the neck looks like. And here we go. Notice how tender and falling off the bone that neck meat is. That's what we're looking for. So in a pressure cooker, 45 minutes. Inside of a regular stock pot with the same procedure, 3 or 4 hours. So let's take out this neck. Any more left? Yep, little piece right here, don't get that. This is what we need. So I can strain out the rest and go ahead and make my roux. Let's get that going. Okay, let me get this neck out of the way. And we can go ahead and strain our liquid, our stock. Really nice. Look at the color. Now we don't need this veg. So if you want to, you can eat it, do what you want with it. Don't really care. Actually, you can put some chicken stock in here and go ahead and use your Roboku and whip this up, and it has a nice little sauce flavor for you for that. I want to start my roux. This is my sauce, so I want to get this a little hot, and I want to get to my roux. Now all roux is butter and flour. Now you want this to be like a white roux, so you're going to go ahead and melt this butter, add the flour slowly until it thickens up, and it'll be like a little white ball. Now they tell you 50-50, 50% fat, 50% flour. Nay, you want to go a little bit more flour. Some people say a little less flour, but either side, you have to pick one. Don't go 50-50. So I'll show you as we start to cook. This is getting hot. So I'll go ahead and add my butter. And all this has to do is melt. So I'll help that process. Now as far as thickening go, the rule of thumb is 1 tablespoon of roux for every cup of liquid. So right now I'm probably going to make about 4 tablespoons. I just want a little bit of thickness to the gravy. So now our butter's melted. I'm going to start to add some flour and bring it together. A little more flour. As you can see, the flour is really getting to the butter. See how thick it is? I want to add a little bit more. And all we're doing is cooking this together. Now, the more this cooks, the looser it'll get. That's why you want to add more flour. Let this go for a little bit. Now, see how it's getting loose? Meaning it's kind of like going down and you see a little liquid? Add a little bit more flour. You want to get this really thick, kind of dry looking. A little bit more. There we go. So as this gets dry, the more it cooks, it'll get loose. So that's why when you first start off, you want it dry. Because the more this stays in the pan, it'll start to get loose again. So this is the perfect consistency. As far as people saying, I get lumps in my roux, or I get lumps in my gravy, this is ready to add liquid to it. So I have some cream. I only want to add maybe a half a cup of cream. I want to add some thickness to this. So this cream is room temperature. Now if it was cold, it would seize up all this flour. Then you got to whisk the hell out of it to try and get those lumps out. So that's why you have a situation with lumps. 2 different temperatures working. Now I can easily incorporate my stock because the stock is hot, so it's really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit of my cream. See how it jumps on the flour? All we got to do is incorporate a little bit more, and that's enough. I just want to mix this in. See how it's grabbing it? It's all coming together. This is all I'm looking for. Now I can slowly add my stock. Now just in case I have too much flour, why not take some out right now? So then in case we need to, we can add it later. So I'm going to go ahead and get a measuring cup and slowly pour in my stock. Pour enough in so we go ahead and incorporate the flour. As you can see, it's really loose. But the more heat I add, it'll come together, just like a sauce, and I keep on going. Just get all the stuff off from the bottom, and see how it's getting homogeneous? This is what we're looking for. It'll never get to its full thickening power until it gets to a boil. I drop the heat halfway, just so I can easily incorporate this. If you wanted to, you can kick it up again. As you start to see the boil, it'll start to get thick, but it's nicely homogeneous. Now because I've experienced, I know I can add more. But so you can see it happen, the bubbles are starting to happen, and it's really getting thick. So I know I can add more stock. See the bubbles? Really thick. Keep on adding my stock. Now I'm going to switch off to a whisk. Now the whisk will be a lot easier to use because there's more stuff in the pot. So more liquid, it's easier to control it with a whisk. And I'm going to make sure I don't get any lumps. That's why you want to switch to a whisk. I want to make sure I incorporate everything and really move this stock and roux. Looks nice. So probably give it like 5 minutes and it'll get thick again. So I'll see if I need more stock. So it's been about 3 to 5 minutes. You'll see it how it starts to really get bubbly. We're really thick right now. Has nice texture. Now people talk, or chefs will talk about nappe. What nappe is, it coats the back of the spoon. So if I were to have this and go like that, that little line you see, that would be how nappe would be. So it could be a little bit thicker, but I have more stuff to add. So I have these livers, which I chopped up. The livers are now going to go in. So I'm going to incorporate these. Gives a little bit of texture and a little bit of color. Now, let this go for like 10, 15 minutes. You want to get the flour taste of that roux out. That'll give us enough time to chop up or pull apart our neck meat, and we'll incorporate that as well. So again, let this cook for like 15 minutes to get that flour taste out. All right, it's been about 10-15 minutes. I want you to go ahead and look at what we see here. We see the bubbles. It's really thick. You can see it lap on the side of the pan. Now I could probably add a little bit more stock, so I'm going to do so. Nice. Now, just in case you screw up and add too much stock, I have my extra roux that I can go ahead and add to it. So again, totally foolproof. This is nice consistency. I'm going to add my neck meat in now. Nice. Go ahead and add that. Now when you add the neck meat, it might become a little bit thick. So it does. Just add some more stock. I'm going to add a little pepper. Pepper gives a nice little bite. I like a lot of pepper. Now we can go ahead and taste this bad boy. It's good. I'm going to add a little bit more stock because it's getting a little bit thick. There we go. Looks good. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I think we're good to go. Give it a final taste. That's some gravy right there. Some turkey, some stuffing, some gravy. I like. Now what I want you to notice is the thickness. Once again, we'll do the whole nappe thing. Totally. There you see it. Nice little line. Now, as far as dinner service goes, I go ahead and shut this off. You could make this the day before. You can make it the morning of. If you make it the day before, you got to cool it down. Once it's cool, then you wrap it up, put it in the fridge. Now with all that gelatin from the neck, it'll be really jiggly. Now if you want to, you can go ahead and nuke it. Once it's nuked, you can put it in a pot and reheat slowly. Now what happens as this gets cool, it evaporates. So most likely you'll need more stock to get thick again when you reheat it. So save the stock that you made and keep on going. Now what I want you to notice is we still have roux and we still have stock. If you wanted to, you can make the whole thing. But as far as the amount, this is nice. We have like 2.5 cups here. More than enough for what we're gonna do tonight. So, once again, save your product. I hope you tried this recipe. I'm Chef Michael Reyes for the Hungry Winos. Have a great Thanksgiving.